Let me go to something else here. We got something, again, New York. We've got this guy that supposedly assassinated this medical executive professional guy. And I'm looking at this, I'm counting heads, I'm counting people, and in one day, this is mind-blowing, in one day, there's 100 people that you could readily count up that in in this one day, in like an 8 hour, less than 8 hour, basically in about a 4 hour period, there's like 100 plus personnel devoted to supposedly protecting this one guy, the apparent assassin. And I'm like, this is despicable. This is ridiculous that this kind of manpower would be required. I mean, this is despicable. What kind of example does that set for people in this nation to look at a guy in chains that needs 100 people to facilitate his protection, his control? I just, it just like you have, I guess he had some, you've got some small amounts of protesters. I believe there was 6 whole protesters that showed up outside the court. So, there's, this 100 plus people that you can see. This brings about, this is despicable. I mean, the kind of money, the waste here, mind-boggling. This is something, what message are citizens supposed to get out of this? Yeah, look, this guy is in chains. He apparently assassinated this health professional executive that was apparently under serious investigation for major crime by the Justice Department, being, connected in all kinds of various items, according to the web, if you research it. But the justice system moves slowly, right? It moves slowly, and then all of a sudden there's you see a situation like this. And it's prompt too. We're going to address this right away. Massive waste of manpower. And people, here we got a government shutdown fight. People are talking about there's an efficiency problem. What kind of example does this set to the American people to see an example of, these people, we're going to see over 100 people in 4 hours just surrounding this guy. Look at the manpower there. And you got people saying, the government's wasteful. Wow. I mean, the government doesn't provide enough security for candidates running for office. And now all of a sudden, look at what we're seeing right here. Is the message clear? And say, we protect our rich people, whether they're criminals or not. I mean, is this the message that is being sent by law enforcement? Is this the message that New York is sending? We're going to find you and track you down. We're going to spend enormous amounts of money. We're going to spend $100 million. We can't let somebody get away with a crime like that. What is the message here? I mean, is there a manpower problem? What about when 500 people were being rejected on claims? Even though the government's investigated them, fined them before for denying claims. I mean, can you imagine 500 people in pain, horrible pain, week after week, month after month? They're going to die if they don't get certain treatment, and that means the policies have to pay. So these people are in horrible pain. Where's the manpower to investigate 500 people versus the manpower that we just saw today committed in a 4-hour period. This is shameful. The signal that government is sending to the American people. This is a blatant example of grandstanding, a blatant example of massive financial waste. It's just undeniable. This guy's in chains. This is absolutely ridiculous. They're going to go through this whole thing. Gee, why didn't you just use the chopper and set down on top of the one of the police high rises that has, like a heliport on top, where it's already a secure location? Come on. So should somebody say this? And the media, look at how much time the media has been focusing this massive effort. Let's get a manhunt going. This guy's assassinated somebody. $100 million ends up getting spent by various factional, subfactional, law enforcement, media, etc., in 3 to 7 days, easy, on one guy. Of course, I'm the guy that says, well, let's use SAR satellite technology. So we record everybody anyhow, but the data's stored. But in order to work the data, you need a lot of computers to sort it. So it's expensive to use these computers to sort material, so you only have a limited amount of live focusing on the raw mass data. But you can rework all of the data if you have enough computers, except the cost of reworking that data, following the dot, setting the permanent example to say, look, if you commit murder or violent rape, there's going to be no escape for you. Because the technology can catch 9 out of 10 people. And I'm going to tell you, it's nowhere anything near what we just saw spent on one guy. One guy. The system that I'm talking about is to have somebody run an operation, tracing the dots. You're talking about a $300 an hour cost. And what did we just see? Where's the efficiency? Where's the logic? This is lunacy. This is despicable. This sends a blatantly discriminatory statement to citizens of the nation, telling them, oh, well, we don't have any manpower available. We don't have any resources for you. But we got plenty of resources for rich people. Now look at that payroll out there. Is that rich guy paying for that? Is that rich guy paying for the cost of that situation? No. You're paying for the cost, and you're also the ones being denied resources. The Justice Department is not an equal servant. This is a clear example today, and people around the country are disgusted of watching all of this media material around one guy. Look at this massive waste. It just reinforces people's brains that the government is incompetent financially and is wasteful. Instead of spending the money on technology that would be basically permanently with us, that we could utilize, that would also be, like a unicog. Trace the dot. We got a location, we got a dot, it's a person. They committed a homicide or a violent rape. With SAR technology, we can deal with different locations and approach that same data. That system stays with us, but no. We got people who want to grandstand and waste money. Instead of investing into something that is tactically the logical decision. And it's just despicable. It is so blatantly obvious that there is clearly the clear intent of discrimination. What a confirmation. How despicable. New York should be ashamed of what they just showed. They should be ashamed. This is despicable. That kind of blatant waste. I just have to say something on that, because you have to look at it and see that it's just ridiculous. Thank you for your time.